everybody. I'm Diane Spadola, and welcome to the Thursday Afternoon Tune-Up. This is episode number 13, and this video series is brought to you by Accelerate Your Success, the Business Booster small group coaching program for entertainers. Think of it as your information and inspirational pit stop before your race, which is the weekend. I know many of you are headed to Capital Convention, and they really do put the fun in business. So as you're on your way, and hopefully while you're there, these helpful hints may help you enjoy the convention even more. Not just Capital Convention, but any convention. First of all, bring your business cards. Networking is fantastic. It's a chance for you to ask a question after the fact that you might not have gotten to in class. Sharing your business card with like-minded professionals is always a good thing to do in business. The other thing is you might, if you collect business cards from your teachers and give them one of yours, you have the opportunity to connect after the class. If you don't have a card, it does make you look a little unprofessional. It looks like you don't take your business seriously. So if you don't have a card, make up something, index cards with a mailing label, so that you have a way of sharing your contact information with people, and don't forget to ask people for theirs. Secondly, trim down your kit for the classes. You could take anything you want for the jams. There's lots of big tables and lots of room, but there's no time in the class in between or during the class to set up big cases. So just put a few things like couple of sponges, couple of rainbow cakes, some white and some black, your brushes, and don't forget your wipes. They're especially important if you're painting on your arm, or another good thing to bring would be a practice pad or a practice head. Make your station really tiny when you're sitting in a classroom. Think of it as your carbon footprint and make it really small. Only take up one seat, not 2 or 3. There's lots of people that want to take the classes. Some of them arrive late. So I encourage people to not only be in your seat when it's time for the class to start, because it's less disruptive for the teacher, but when you take your seat, move all the way to the end of the aisle. Because like Disney, that'll allow the empty spaces to be for people that arrive a little bit later than you. If you sit on the aisle as you walk into the classroom, usually it's divided into 2 halves. If you sit on that aisle, then everybody that is taking the seat after you has to get you to move, which is really awkward. Kind of like sitting on the aisle in a movie theater. So bring a notepad and a pen. If you're not painting along, you definitely want to take notes, especially of the order in which the teachers do things, because I found that really helps me when I'm trying to practice at home. Bring a cell phone, but not for what you think. You can also bring a camera with a zoom lens so that you can see the teacher and the detail that they're doing from way back in the back. The cell phone is for pictures. You are usually free to take pictures from your seat at any time during a class. You can take step-by-step photos if you're not disrupting the other students. However, you should keep your phone on silent, and if you do have to take a call, make sure that you step out of the room. Otherwise, 40 or 50 people in that classroom are going to hear every single word you say, and it's kind of disruptive to the teacher as well. If you happen to be a model, and I have to say it's one of the best things about going to convention is getting your face painted by a master, or just by somebody else if you're in inspiration to paint. We tend to paint ourselves mostly. If you're a model, please stay after class to have your photo taken. The other students are going to want to have a photo to remember the finished design by. They're going to want to be close up when they take that photo. So be patient, stand against a wall, smile when you can, or if they ask you to, and don't be surprised if people that were not in your class want your photo when you're walking up and down the hallways of the hotel. It's sort of like having your own little group of paparazzi following you around. So be gracious. Instructors can get more designs in if they don't have to stop for people that are taking photos or asking them that they stop, or doing step-by-steps, or models walking around. So you want to get as most out of the convention as you can, so let the instructors do their work. and paint as quickly as they can. There's usually no videotaping in classes because that's a copyright infringement of what the teacher is trying to teach. And you really don't want to be posting or sharing step-by-steps because you paid for that class. You should be getting all the benefit. You should be taking home the step-by-steps and learning them and practicing them and putting your own twist on them to make those designs your own. If you post the step-by-steps online, especially on social media, what you've basically done is given up the milk, so nobody's going to want to pay for the cow. And conventions are going to have fewer and fewer people attending, and it's going to hurt the industry. So keep what you learn kind of a secret, but use it yourself. Have fun, learn a lot. I find the hardest thing to do is when I get back home, I have these intentions of reading all my notes and looking at all my pictures and practicing every design, and sometimes it doesn't happen. So leave some time out when you get back from Capital to practice what you learned and put it in your head and get your hands to take it as muscle memory. Don't forget to follow up with your new friends, and if you had a blast and a half, shoot me a note. See you next week.